All right, what's up everyone? Watch this video here for Thursday, June 18th, showing you the SPY here, a gap up, but then a red daily candle. Um, if you didn't make it to chat today, I got to show you a couple highlights, a couple amazing calls by Wayne. I know I sound like a broken record. He's been making some amazing calls every day. Let me switch to 2-minute candles and show you his Beyond call, BYND, which in pre-market he went over as his top pick for the morning. All right, so look, there it is, the opening 2-minute candle. Sells off and then right back up. He called this long over 157. Look what happens. I mean, he has a knack, man, for finding this stuff. And it went up to 167 and 16 cents. So a $10 move, basically, from Wayne's call. Beautiful. And IMTE, for you course takers, you're going to love this setup. Let's go to 2-minute candles again. IMTE, nice low float. Many of you course takers will recognize that opening candle and then the subsequent second candle. So what do you have here? Literally 3 reasons to buy this. Okay, so you've got the opening 2-minute candle, the next 2-minute candle topped out at exactly 8. So if the third 2-minute candle breaks 8, what do you have? 2-minute buy setup and a red to green and a whole number inflection point. 4 reasons, sorry. And the high of day above to act as another catalyst. So Wayne sees this, calls this through 8. And man, I mean, it moves so quickly that and so fast and percentage-wise that you got to halt, opened out of the halted again, and anyway, ultimately went to 1331 from his 8 call. I want to say, because these are 2-minute candles, in 6 to 8, maybe 10 minutes, but that's not accurate because the halts were either 5 or 10 minutes in between. But what an amazing call. So a couple great calls by Wayne. Now, just to talk a little bit about day trading, let me go back to the SPY here. I'm in the room. I'm privy to both his calls, and I avoided both of them because I was watching something else, and I ended up trading like I traded 20 years ago when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I traded terribly. Like everything I touched went to crap, and I avoided, great calls like Wayne made. And the IMTE, I'm looking back on why in the hell did I avoid that? It was a perfect setup. It was a 4-reason call. Anyway, so I actually feel like incredibly blessed that I didn't even hit my daily loss limit, because everything I did wrong today should have been like a triple my daily loss limit day. And I didn't even hit my daily loss limit, but I absolutely deserved to. So, my plan tomorrow is to get back to A+ setups and just act right. Had a back and forth with a couple people. I was actually really, really embarrassed of how I traded. I would love to say, here's the reason why, but honestly, I don't know, other than just I'm human. Somebody tweeted back to me today. I tweeted something about this, and they tweeted something like, it's actually really terrifying to them to see a professional trader talk about trading this poorly. You'd think once somebody has it, then they have it. And if you're still not consistently profitable, and then you see somebody who is still screw up, I get it. That can be very disconcerting. But my only answer is, man, trading's hard, and not being human, in other words, having unrelenting discipline, which really isn't a human trait. Unrelenting discipline is not a human trait, but you need it to be a professional day trader. There's nothing easy about it, right? So I feel blessed that I had a crappy day and didn't even hit my daily loss limit with everything I did wrong. So I'm just going to call that my shovel to the face wake up call, that I better act right tomorrow and only trade A+, right? All right, so anyway, all that said, let's go right into the watch list for tomorrow. ORN is interesting anyway, because you got this big volume spike and it topped out at the half. So you got, that looks good over 350 tomorrow, right? But that's not why it's on the watch list. It's on the watch list because in after hours it had good news and was actually trading over 5 at one point in after hours. It went out at about 469. So potential gap and go tomorrow. We're going to keep our eyes on that one. AHPI. This is kind of a little nuanced setup, but you got a decent volume spike today. It topped out at 1041 before closing at 967. But we're starting to see the personal protective equipment stuff moving again, and AHPI, when it gets going, it can really get going. So I definitely want to watch it. So that one goes on watch. I got a couple others, but I'm just going to go in the order that I've got them written down. So SONO, nice volume today. Interesting break above 14 before, closing off its highs. The high was 14.22 and it closed at 14.01. But I like the volume. It's definitely very, very strong lately. And full disclosure, I love their stuff. I've got a Sonos. I never know how to pronounce it because I've heard people pronounce it both ways. I absolutely love it. I got the sound bar, the satellites, and the subwoofer, and I can't even tell you how it fills our house with sound when we're watching a movie. I mean, Game of Thrones was amazing. So, but that's no reason to take a trip, right? But I just thought I'd throw that in because I do love their product. XRF, super interesting here. You got a spike back here, gave it all back. Another spike, gave it back. And another spike, and now it's kind of holding up better, right? Next thing you know, it's curling right back up. Couple that with today's high, exactly 3. I love this through 3 tomorrow, knowing that 340 is just above to act as another target and maybe catalyst, right? So XRF, really interesting. AMS, there it is. A big gap up, big volume. A fairly weak close when you consider it was as high as 342, but in after hours, it closed at 419, so probably a gapper tomorrow. Anyway, certainly worth having on watch. APT kind of goes along with AHPI. I had said in the video last night that I like this one over 1350. I'll take today's candle out of it, and you can kind of see it, right? You had this pop here and a little flag. Well, lo and behold, it broke 1350 and went to 1449, and my genius self made nothing off of it. In the morning I'm busy watching the gappers, and it broke 1350 pretty much in the first 7 minutes or so. And I generally won't take a daily chart break in the first 10 or 15 minutes, and you can see what happens. I mean, if you get long at 1350 and you don't scale out quickly, next thing you know, it's all the way down to almost 1320. So you still could have made some money taking that through 1350 though. But anyway, it held up well enough, and COVID is making enough of a resurgence that I do want to watch it. All right. MDLY. Nice pop here, big volume, and a fairly strong close. We'll see if we get a continuation day there. MLND. Big volume and a fairly strong close there. So that one's interesting for a continuation pattern. We'll see if we get one tomorrow. IDEX, big day and big volume, right? Closing well off its highs, but definitely want to watch this for maybe a red to green or something like that tomorrow. WYY, big breakout today, under $1. I don't generally like stocks that are under $1, but I am going to watch it. And a couple more. DGLY. With everything going on in the world, it's body cameras for police. I half expected Trump to say something on the day he signed the executive order and never mentioned body cameras. But that doesn't mean we won't get a headline one of these days that, XYZ police department is mandating body cameras, or there's a bill put forth in the House or the Senate, or I should say in the House, that is maybe talking about mandating body cameras. So it doesn't hurt to have DGLY on watch, because if you do get some kind of headline like that, I'm going to dive right into this thing. So anyway, it goes on watch, and it's been really strong lately, and you had a couple ugly days. And I think because the lack of the body camera headline on the executive order day, I think is what hurt that, but it's back down to support. So definitely want to keep an eye on that one. And then GNUS is my last one. Type that one more time. I don't love this, right? Had this crazy move, came all the way back down to about $3, had a pretty nice bounce to $5, and then in 3 days, right back down to $3. So it's back down to support, 3 red days. And if I switch to 15-minute candles, you'll notice this has not broken its early high in the afternoon. It didn't do it today. It didn't do it yesterday. Didn't do it the day before. And it didn't do it the day before. It did do it this day and pretty quickly failed. But now that we're at support, kind of get a window into what I would like to see. I would like to see an afternoon high of day break, and then you might get a decent little percentage move. Anyway, not in love with this list, but we'll add gappers to this in the pre-market. And really, I only need 1 or 2 of these to give me an A+ intraday setup, and I can make my day profit wise, right? So I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll see y'all in chat in the morning.